guys, it's Chris with Never Enough Outdoors, and today we'll be talking about this DiabloSport InTune i3 tuner. Now I got this for my 2011 model, and I recently totaled it, and so I bought a 2018 GMC Sierra, and I upgraded my tuner so it would work with that vehicle. I have the platinum version, so you can upgrade and get more licenses to go with other vehicles you own. And now they've even got it so if you bought this for a GM and then you went and bought a Ford, you can just get a Ford license to go on your GM model tuner. I got this originally because the AFM was giving my vehicle trouble, and I wanted to turn it off. So I bought this to turn it off, but I also used one of the pre-programmed tunes to give me better gas mileage. So with the tuner on and my AFM turned off, I got better gas mileage than without the tuner with AFM on. So it's a great tool. I recommend you getting one, especially if you want to get rid of the AFM, which is the feature where you've got a V8, and when it, you're in a top gear and you're cruising, it'll switch to a 4-cylinder basically. That was giving me a lot of issues in my lifters. I had to keep having the dealership go in and replace lifters and different parts. So this is a good tool to get rid of that issue so that you don't have that problem, especially when your warranty runs out. Fortunately, all of my issues happened before the warranty ran out, but I don't want to have this happen on my new truck. I'm going to show you how to basically turn this on, do an update, and program it to your vehicle. Recently I had this on in this vehicle, but my check engine light came on, and you can use this as a code reader when your check engine light comes on. And I used it, and it came up with some code, and I looked it up, and it was something to do with fuel. So it was getting too much fuel, so I tuned it back to stock, and my check engine light went off. It hasn't come on since. It's been about a week. So I took this thing, I went in the house, I did an update. You should update it every time you use it, but I did an update, and now I'm going to program it back on, and hopefully it won't cause any issues going forward. Please check out my channel, please subscribe, and let's get started. All right, so I'm getting in my truck here, and what you want to do is up under the dash, at least in the GM, I assume they're all the same, there's a little plug-in. You can't miss it. It's a little place where you plug in your wires. For my truck, it's right underneath where I would pop the hood. There's a little thing right here, and that's where you want to plug in your tuner. I'm going to unwind the cord, and you just plug it in. It just slides right in. Be careful, don't bend anything. So I've got that plugged in. I'm going to shut my door. It's kind of cold out today. What you want to do, it's going to automatically start loading. It works off the battery power of the truck. It's going to automatically start loading. You want to put your key in and just turn it forward, but don't crank it. This little warning screen cuts on, and you just have to put yes to move forward. And then there's some options. You have tune vehicle, scan tool, which is where if you've got a engine issue, you can scan it and it'll tell you what's wrong with your vehicle. You have to go look up the code somewhere, Google it or something, but at least it'll tell you what's wrong, why the check engine light came on. And then there's a settings button. Now to update your tuner, you have to go to settings, and then you click on Wi-Fi configuration, and then there's a Wi-Fi setup, and then it will scan for wireless connections and allow you to connect to one of them. And as soon as you connect to a Wi-Fi signal, it's going to immediately ask you if you want to do an update. That's the only reason you would connect it. So I always click yes. I always check for an update every time I plug this into my truck, because I want the latest software on here. They say never do it without checking for an update first. So today, all I want to do is tune my vehicle. And so you click the tune button. It says, please ensure the key is in the run position, but do not start the engine. So I've already done that. So I'm gonna hit continue. And then it takes a second to load. Now it says, do I want to do an easy tune or an advanced tune or restore a backup? If I had a tune on here and I wanted to go back to stock settings, you can restore backup, but I don't want to do that today. I've already done that. My truck's in stock settings right now. So, all right, so my options are easy tune and advanced tune. Let's see what easy tune does. So I have options depending on what octane gas I use. I can do a mile per gallon tune, 87, 91, or 93 octane tune. I'm going to do an 87 octane tune. And there's 2 options here, 87 octane tune or mile per gallon booster tune. I'm going to do that 87 octane tune. It tells me it's designed to add power and torque, but with fuel economy in mind. Fuel mileage can always be subject to driving style and may vary vehicle to vehicle. Select tune, yes. Change tire size. I've got stock tires on this truck, so I don't want to do that. Change gear ratio, no, I don't want to do that. And this is my update. Now, it didn't ask me this in the past. You had to go in different ways to change these things. Change, remove speed limiter, no. I think this is with the update. Now, I had a Hypertech a few trucks ago, and it, I had a Hypertech a few years ago, and it did like this. It went through a series and asked you different questions. But so now when you're doing this, the vehicle may beep, different things may flash, the doors may lock. It does different things as it's updating. Here you can see it's updating. It's reading my backup file, which is basically the stock tune. It's not even a tune, it's just stock. And it's reading it so that when I want to go back to stock, I can go back to stock. But it's going to save this in here so that it's always here for me. I'm going to let this finish and then I'll come back to you. All right, as you can see, I'm finishing up my backup tune, which is what I would put it back to stock. It's going to save that file in this unit. So anytime after I've had a tune on it, I want to go back to stock, I can choose that as an option. So now it's asking me if I want to install the 87 octane tune. And there's a lot of options you can choose on here that might, they're different per every vehicle and everybody's different preferences. I'm just showing you what I want to do, which is 87 octane tune. And sometimes I go into different settings to get there a different way and do it different ways, but this is the way I'm doing it today. I just went through the easy tune setup. So it's asking me if I want to apply the things I clicked yes or no to, which they were all no's for me. See my different things cut on the dash. It just told me that my traction control was off, or on or off or something. It's going to do stuff like that as it tunes. The doors will lock sometimes, the different things will turn on or off. But so it's writing that tune to my computer in my truck. Now it says turn your vehicle off. So I'm going to turn the key to off. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to hit continue. And then it's going to count up 3, 2, 1, 0, and it's going to say turn it to on. So I'm going to turn it back to on. And I'm going to hit continue. And it's going to say 3, 2, 1. It's probably going to say turn it off. So now I'm going to turn it off. Hit continue. 3, 2, 1, 0. Turn it back on probably. So I'm going to turn it back on. Hit continue. Again, you're not cranking it. You're just putting it into the run position. All right, it says it's 100%. It just wrote that tune. So I'm letting it finish here. But I'm not done. I didn't turn AFM off. So now it's telling me wait while the tool reboots. I'm gonna have to go into the special parameters to turn that AFM back off. It was off a week ago. My check engine light came on and I ran this scan tool and it was an issue with my fuel. And I just first thought is I need to turn my tune off to see if that fixes it. And as soon as I turned my tune off, I didn't clear it or nothing. I just turned my tune off, turned it back to stock. My check engine light went away and it hasn't been back since. So I'm willing to bet it was something to do with my tune. I don't know if it's the tuner or the way it was tuned, but I've did an update on my tuner. I'm going to reload everything and just see if that fixes it. If my check engine light comes back on, I'll know there's a problem with this tuner or the way it's tuning my truck or something to do with that. This time I'm going to go to advanced tune and I'm going to go change some parameters. I'm going to modify parameters. And it gives you a long list of things you can manually control. Throttle calibration, speed calibration, spark calibration, rev speed limiter, power enrichment, idle calibration, fan control. But what I want is AFM calibration. So I'm going to click that and I can cycle it on or off. So I'm going to click on it and it's on right now. I don't want it. That's the thing that goes from 8-cylinder to 4-cylinder. I'm going to hit off. It says, do you want to turn it to off? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to go back. And back. Back. And now I'm going to apply that tune where it turns it off. So see, you hear that beep? That says traction control off. So now it's rewriting my 87 octane tune, but with AFM turned off. Now I could have did that to begin with, but I didn't. I thought it might ask me to do the tune and then to set up the parameters, but it didn't. I thought the new update I have might do that, but it didn't. So I'm just going to let it go this way. It's not a big deal. Just takes longer. It says turn it off. We'll turn the ignition off, hit continue. It counts down. Turn it back on, continue. Turn it back off, continue. Turn it back on, continue. All right, it's done. And now it's doing something else, exporting a file. It's probably saving my data about the AFM being turned off. It says tuning complete. You may unplug the tool and enjoy driving your vehicle or tap continue to reboot. So it's done. My tune is on here. I'm gonna take my key out of the ignition just to know it's turned off. I'm gonna crank it back up. Make sure it cranks up. Look, it even told me my battery was low because I'd been doing this for so long. But I cranked it up and I'm gonna let it run for a minute just to make sure nothing crazy happens. And now I can get back to driving and enjoy my truck with a tuned vehicle with good gas mileage and my AFM turned off. And I'll check it, you know, I'll be checking it throughout the week to make sure there's no issues with my check engine light coming on. And I'll be, you know, messing around seeing how my horsepower is, seeing how it feels, how it drives, and how much faster it goes or takes off or tows my boat or different things. But this is a good tool. I recommend getting one, especially if you want to turn off AFM. A lot of people get an aftermarket muffler and it sounds horrible when the AFM goes from 8-cylinder to 4-cylinder, and they want to make it sound good all the time. You get the tuner and turn the AFM off. You can leave it stock, but turn off the AFM and you'll have a good sounding truck 24/7. So please subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos. I've got a lot going on as far as outdoor things, trucks, fishing, hunting's coming up. So just check it out and please subscribe. Thank you.